Right now, all around the world, theaters are packed with a story about one man trying, desperately, to get home. Nolan's Odyssey has already crossed $600 million worldwide, and that number keeps climbing. The Cyclops, the sirens, the storms, those are the parts every trailer and every summary repeats. But the detail almost everyone skips over is quieter, older, and it's actually the one that's about you. Some of Odysseus's worst dangers on that 10-year voyage never attacked him at all. They offered him comfort instead. Homer wrote this nearly 3,000 years ago, long before any screen, any camera, or any theater ever existed. But he already understood something your own life keeps proving true, again and again, whether you notice it or not. The monsters were never actually the real test of this whole story. The quiet rest stops always were. Odysseus spends 10 years trying to get from Troy back to Ithaca, back to his wife, his son, his real life. Along the way, he keeps landing in places that offer him an easier version of that exact same goal. First, the Lotus-Eaters. A fruit that doesn't kill you, it simply erases your desire to ever leave. His men eat it, and immediately they stop wanting to go home at all, without a single fight, argument, or protest. Not defeated, not broken, simply content. That's the actual trap, because none of them ever feel trapped in the first place. Next comes Circe. A goddess, a warm house, endless food, and absolutely no urgency to move on. Odysseus stays there a full year. Not because he's weak or foolish, but because staying required no decision at all from him. Leaving, on the other hand, required one. And that single difference is exactly why so many people never end up leaving anything. Then Calypso. 7 years spent on her island, not one of them spent seriously trying to escape. She offers him immortality, comfort without end, forever, if he simply stops trying to go home. None of these three places hurt Odysseus the way the Cyclops or the ocean storms did. Each one was relief instead of pain. And relief, quietly, is exactly what makes people stop moving forward. He's only remembered today because, eventually, in every single one of these, he got back in the boat. You've already lived a version of this story, without a single sea monster ever showing up. You've had a real goal, and standing between you and it wasn't ever some dramatic disaster. It was an easier option that simply made the real goal feel a little less urgent, day by day. Here's what that easier option usually looks like when it shows up in your actual life, not a myth. A relationship that isn't quite right for you, but is comfortable enough that you quietly stopped asking yourself the hard questions. A job that isn't your real calling, but pays fine enough and never once asks anything genuinely difficult of you. A habit that quietly dulls the ache of not having done the harder, more important thing you know you should be doing. And that is exactly why they're more dangerous, long-term, than any obvious crisis could ever be. Pain announces itself loudly. It demands a reaction, so eventually you deal with it and move on. Comfort never announces anything at all. It just slowly lowers how much you still want the real thing. Here's the part that almost every retelling, film included, of this story quietly leaves out entirely. Odysseus doesn't escape Calypso's island through willpower alone, using pure heroic self-discipline the whole time. He almost doesn't leave that island at all. It takes the gods themselves stepping in and directly forcing the issue. The honest, slightly unflattering point of the myth is this: comfort is strong enough to trap even him. The cleverest man in the entire ancient world stayed stuck on one single island for 7 full years. So the real lesson here isn't be disciplined enough to never feel the pull toward comfort. You will feel that pull, repeatedly. That part was never optional for Odysseus, and it isn't optional for you. Staying in motion means noticing the exact moment relief has quietly become a permanent stopping point. And then leaving on purpose, before you're comfortable enough to stop wanting the real thing at all. The version of your life you're actually trying to reach isn't blocked by catastrophe or disaster. It's blocked by whatever currently feels fine enough that leaving it seems completely unnecessary right now. Ithaca was never easier to reach than Calypso's island was. It was simply real, and that mattered. And that was the entire point of the 10-year journey, far more than any of the monsters. Odysseus wasn't heading toward a place free of struggle. No such place ever existed, even for him. He was heading toward something true enough to actually be worth all of that struggle. So ask yourself the one question this whole story is really asking you right now, today. What's your island? Comfortable, familiar, and quietly not the thing you actually set out for in the first place. If this is the version of the Odyssey nobody puts in the trailer, you already know what to do next. Subscribe, because next week we open Marcus Aurelius's Meditations on preparing your reactions before life ever demands them.